What's up guys, welcome back to another video. It's Aleksi here. So in this video I want to talk about simply when God trusts you with trouble and more trouble and pressure. And this is when you need to understand that God is not doing this for no reason. And if you'd like to donate, in the description, one of my description, my new course in the description, Walk with God as well, check it out. Second link, truth in the first link. And when you're running into trouble on your faith journey with God, everything is orchestrated by God. Understand this first, and then to understand that God gives you pressure and trouble sometimes because he knows you can handle it, and sometimes it's a test also if you can handle it. And sometimes he is pretty confident that you can handle something. He'll give you that burden to bear because he knows you can handle it, even though it might feel hardship. But he gives you that. It could be also kind of like just to see where you're at, and he knows that you can handle something. Maybe it's something you've been through before, or maybe it's just an extra challenge, I don't know. But God works in mysterious ways in our lives, and if you're early on in your faith journey, these challenges obviously will probably challenge you a lot more. Simple stuff like maybe attacks or something else spiritually. So, and circumstance wherever you happen to find yourself, and maybe you're struggling with work or something else. And it's important to know that in these situations you don't need to panic or something. You just need to kind of take it on face value for what it is, and that way you will actually understand what it is and what you need to do in it, in the situation at hand. So just understand that the pressure is there to build you up. It's not to bring you down. And sometimes we need that extra pressure and challenge to just kind of grow and to keep going, so we don't get too comfortable, because if we get way too comfortable also we can become lazy or undisciplined or something else. And God doesn't want us to be lazy and not do anything. But there's obviously the other spectrum, which is overworking as well. And I can recognize this myself. Sometimes we do too much, sometimes we do too little. So there's a good, as God says, there's a good moderation in everything, in a sense, to do. And you have to kind of learn to recognize these signs in yourself and within your environments with God when you are in the situations. But don't fear pressure. Pressure forms diamonds, and that's what it's all about. And yeah, I've talked about this a little bit before on my channel. I think this is something people usually struggle with a lot. At least some people, when they get pressure from God, they they start crying, they're very emotional, maybe negative. And that's normal sometimes. Situations bring naturally negativity out, so you can dissect it and get rid of it, eventually vanishing the negativity. But you need to take these situations also very seriously, in the sense that you can come to contemplate yourself and understand yourself the way God wants you to, and not look at it from the feeling and emotional standpoint, but look at it from the truth standpoint, and come to understand yourself and see the situation for what it kind of is, and do the best you can in every situation. And that's really what it's all about. And that's what God wants to see, is that you change and actually do go through the hardships and grow from them. And even if you feel pressure and you're accustomed to it, and it's just this is just another situation, I've been through this before, sometimes it's just extra pressure, or the environment is kind of how it happens to be, and you just kind of work with it, and that extra pressure is gonna get you to do things, even if you struggle a little bit, just to get maybe better results, or just not make you complacent, to keep you going a little bit. And that's what it's all about. And don't fear all the trouble that's coming your way. It's natural. It's God testing you. It could be God building you. It could be just I don't know if I could call pressure a compliment. Kind of depends if you're really used to the same pressure and God just sends you the same type of pressure, just to kind of see where you're at. Kind of Job's trials to an extent. God was very confident in Job, and he gave him these trials to go through. And and they made a wager, you could say Satan made a wager against God on Job, and that Job would fall, and Job didn't fall. And God was very confident in this, and he didn't, and he proved his true faith. And that's really what it's about also to God, is that sometimes it's about proving that true faith, that you can overcome and work in difficult scenarios, or have true faith in God and surrender in difficult scenarios and go through those pressure moments. Maybe it's moving, maybe it's letting go of things, stuff like that. But if there's a will, there's a way. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next one.